on Shalom TV. I'm Dr. Ruth Westheimer. And did you know I'm a trained sniper? At the end of World War II, I had a dilemma. I was in Switzerland, but as a German Jew who had been given a haven from the Nazis, once the war was over, I wasn't allowed to stay in Switzerland. After what the Germans did to my family, I had no desire to return there. So where was I to go? The decision turned out to be an easy one: Palestine. A Jewish state was forming, and there at least I was wanted, even needed. Of course, there were a lot of people who didn't want the state of Israel to exist. So going to Palestine meant going through the war of independence. But nobody sat on the sidelines. Everybody pitched in, and after working on the kibbutz, I joined the underground forces, the Haganah. During my training, it turned out that I was a very good shot, and so I was made a sniper. I'd sit on a rooftop, waiting to shoot someone who might pose a danger. As it turned out, I never had to shoot anyone, in part because I wasn't a sniper for very long, as I was seriously wounded in a bomb blast. But that story is for another day. Today's topic is being a sniper, and what that means and how it might apply to your life. While it turns out that I'm a very good shot, there is another aspect to being a sniper that I'm not so good at: keeping my mouth shut. A sniper has to be secretive. You don't want to give up your position, otherwise the bad guys might shoot you first. So you have to keep as quiet as possible. Anyone who knows me well knows that keeping quiet is not something I do well. Thoughts are always popping into my head and then popping out of my mouth. As someone who is often on radio or television, that's a good trait. The most important rule of the electronic media is that there can't be what's called dead air. Something has to be going on, and on radio, unless the station plays music, that something is talking. And that's why I do very well on radio, because I can always find something to say. While I'm saying one thing, my brain is working on לחשוב על דבר אחר, which means to think of something else. And out comes the perfect thought. But my other career is a sex therapist. People sit in my office and tell me the most intimate details about their life. I know secrets about people that even their spouses do not know. And that's where my training as a sniper comes in handy. When I was on duty, I learned how to be quiet. No matter how badly I wanted to speak, I kept those thoughts inside my head. And so, when I became a sex therapist, I didn't have a problem keeping people's secrets. There is a part of my mind that has a lock on it, and nothing that goes in there comes out unless I really want it to. And learning to keep one's mouth shut is a skill that I'm afraid too many people lack. There is this concept that one's partner should be your soulmate, and that you have to share absolutely every little detail about your life. To my mind, that's only a recipe for trouble. Sure, at the beginning of your relationship, when you are both blinded by love, if you reveal your warts, your partner is going to find them cute and charming. But then later, when the rose-colored glasses have been removed and you look at each other more realistically, and especially if tempers flare and you are in the middle of a fight, some of those revealed secrets are going to be hurled back and forth. Things that you will both regret saying will be said, and quite loudly. So those secrets you revealed will serve as ammunition, and when they come out of your partner's mouth in a particular nasty way, and they land back on you, they're going to hurt. And even if your partner is well-mannered and refuses to sink into the gutter, he or she will think about some of your revelations that don't show you off in a good light. Whatever you admitted will pop into their mind, and your warts won't look cute, but just terrible. Maybe he or she will think, now I understand why that other person didn't stick around. None of us is perfect. And if you have a partner and live with them, especially if you get married and live with them for decades, some of those imperfections are going to be impossible to hide. That's part of being in a relationship. But the acceptance of both the good and the bad can only go so far. If there are things you have done in the past that your partner wouldn't expect you to have done, don't say anything about them. Keep some secrets to yourself. I'm someone who believes in white lies. White lies are those told so as not to hurt the other person. Now, if you have had a terrific lover in the past, one who is better than your current partner, there is absolutely no need to reveal anything about that part of your relationship. That you are not with that old lover is proof that there was something wrong with the overall relationship, and that your new partner is a better match overall. That fabulous lovemaking wasn't enough to hold you together. So the last thing you should want is to use what happened in the past as a wedge against your current partner, even unintentionally. Making your current partner feel less worthy because he or she is not as good in bed as someone else was serves no good purpose. And that's true if past lovers were better at anything, cooking, sports, making money, whatever. Or if they were more attractive physically. The less you say about your past relationships, the better. That's true, even if a person in your past really had no good qualities. That happens sometimes. We all make mistakes. But admitting that person X was a total loser will make your current partner wonder why you were ever in a relationship with a loser. It makes you look bad, so why bring it up? So the less you say about past relationships, the better. There is another aspect of being a sniper that can improve relationship, and that's being observant. One reason a sniper mustn't talk is that talking is a distraction. The sniper's job is also as a lookout. You have to concentrate to make sure that you don't allow the enemy to get too close. Relationships have enemies too, and you have to be on guard against them. One of the biggest ones is boredom. But I'm going to save my thoughts on that for another day. Instead, I want to focus on communications. When you are in a war, establishing good communications is very important. But the same is true when you are in a relationship. Sometimes people talk at each other, and neither side is really hearing what the other is saying. Being a good conversationalist, being good at communicating, means being a good listener. So it's more than just listening. We all communicate with our bodies as well as our mouth. So you have to observe your partner with your eyes as well as listen to what they are saying. If their body language says that they are sad or angry or afraid, you have to be able to spot that. If you are so busy organizing your own thoughts about what you are going to say next, you won't see what your partner's body is telling you. Someone you live with can get to be like that proverbial old shoe. You don't take notice of that person, but that can be a mistake. If you ask your partner how they are feeling and they say okay, that doesn't tell you anything, does it? But maybe if you read their body language, you'll spot something that says they are not okay. And maybe you can get them to tell you about it, and by doing that, avoid some problem that is brewing. So, make a point of observing your partner. Look for changes in his or her body language, as well as other changes in behavior. Maybe your partner is drinking more alcohol than before, or telling you less about what's going on at work, which might indicate a problem that he or she is trying to hide. Try to spot trouble before it develops into something bigger. Of course, the key skill in being a sniper is to be a good shot. Once you have locked onto a target, you have to be able to hit it. That requires a lot of concentration. You have to be able to push every other thought out of your head in order to focus fully on your target. In today's world, concentrating is becoming a skill which people are losing. Instead, everybody wants to be multitask. But there is a time and a place for multitasking, and at other times you have to focus on only one small spot. I worry that people are losing the ability to really communicate. While they are talking to their partner, they are holding their smartphone, even if they are not actively typing on it, which sadly they may be. They are paying attention to it. They are waiting for it to signal them that a new text or email has arrived. And that lack of concentration on the person with whom you are speaking lowers the quality of your overall communications. Your partner is more important to you than your smartphone. This may sound like an obvious thing to say, but from what I see around me, far too many people don't act like that it's true. So if you want to maintain your relationship, you have to aim your undivided attention on your partner whenever the opportunity presents itself. For Shalom TV, I'm Dr. Ruth Westheimer. Talk to you again next time.